Okay. Are others joining, not joining? What is the deal? Let's just check. Give me okay. Who is comfortable in chanting Vakratunda Mahakaya? Vishwat, you can chant?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, chant Vakratunda Mahakaya.
Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya-koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakareshu Sarvada.
So just one thing, Vakratunda Mahakaya. You should not say Vakratunda Mahakaya. Kaya. Okay, just remember that. Okay, Vakratunda Mahakaya Surya-koti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Okay? Okay. Guru Brahma. Adikshit.
Sir, I wanted to chant Vakratunda.
Vakratunda. He chanted already. You want to chant any other shloka? No. Okay, you chant Vakratunda only then. Fine.
Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoti Samaprabha Nirvignam Kurme Deva Sarvakarye Sarvada.
Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Sarvakarye Sarvada. Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Okay? Okay. Srihamsini.
Yes, sir.
You want to chant Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu?
Sir, next class.
Huh?
Next class.
Next class, why? Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Can you do that?
Yes, sir. I'll try, sir, because I lost touch.
That's okay. Whatever you can. Try.
Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Very good. Thank you. Okay. So, each week somebody will chant these two shlokas. Okay. Saraswati Namastubhyam. Anybody who wants to chant Saraswati Namastubhyam? Shriya. Yes.
Sir, I wanted to try Guru Brahma.
You wanted to try Guru Brahma. Okay. What about Saraswati Namastubhyam? You can try that. You know that?
Proper with that, sir. I'm still learning.
You haven't learned. Who can chant Saraswati Namastubhyam? Atharva can chant. Atharva, yes, you can chant.
Saraswati Namastubhyam Varade Kamarupini Vidyarambham Karishyami Siddhir Bhavatu Me Sada.
Very good. Okay. Next class. All three shlokas, one person will have to chant. Who will chant that? Shraddha, you want to take that up?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Next class, you will chant all three shlokas. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Good. So, last class, we did one thing. One very interesting thing. What did we conclude in the end of last class? Difference between human beings and everybody else. What did we discuss?
Differences and similarities between humans and
animals. Correct. So what did we end it with? What did we conclude it with? Who wants to answer?
Sir, humans have logical thinking.
Yes, Vishnu, you'll have to tell a little louder.
Sir, humans have logical thinking.
Humans have logical thinking, but we also said there is one more thing apart from logical thinking. Animals also have a level of logical thinking. Animals will also act in a rational way. Yes. I'll give Shriyamsini a chance, then we'll come back to you, Vishnu. Yes.
Sir, I totally forgot what
You
happened.
totally forgot. Okay. Anybody else who remembers what we discussed? Yes, I know Vishnu knows the answer. But let's see who else knows the answer. Adikshit, you want to try? Huh?
Yeah, yes, sir. Even in similarities, I told that both animals and humans can feel.
Humans feel. That is okay. But we concluded something. We discussed all these things. Pretty much in all aspects, animals, humans, plants are pretty much similar in every aspect, apart from one. And Vishnu knows that answer. Shriyan is raising his hand. Let's see what Shriyan wants to say.
Sir, as I've been tested, I don't know.
You said you don't know. Okay. Okay. Now it comes back to Vishnu. Tell me, Vishnu.
Sir, humans have the ability to make a choice.
Human beings have an ability, are endowed with an ability to make a choice. Free choice. Correct? If we are all sitting here, we have made an active choice to sit here and listen or read or tell or talk. Correct? If I feel hungry, I have the choice to say I will not eat. Animals don't have that choice. Animals will go try to find something, and no matter what, they will have to eat. If they don't eat, they will die. Not that if we don't eat, we will not die. But the thing is, I can still choose not to eat. I can actively say I will not eat. Animals cannot do that. Plants cannot do that. There is a built-in mechanism. That's a robotic, mechanical mechanism built in to say, yes, this is what will keep happening in them. From the day they are born till the time they are dead. Correct? This will keep on happening in them. All of us go through these phases. What are those phases? Everybody is born. A plant is also germinates out of either a seed or a sapling or something. There are animals that are hatched out of eggs. Animals or birds. Animals and birds. Right? There are mammals. All beings are born at some point in time. Then all of them necessarily grow. In height, weight, whatever, intelligence, height, weight, all things. They learn, they do things, everything they do. Animals are also taught by their mothers how to hunt, how to eat, how to do, correct? Then all of them grow old as well. Do you all agree? By whatever age. Human beings may age by the age of 80, 90. Animals will age, a dog will age at the age of say 10 or 12. That's its longevity, that's all. That's the only difference. It is old at that time. Then all things will die at some day. Correct? That is common for everything across. Do we all agree? Anybody says, no, this is not true for this one thing. I know this one particular species, I know this one particular plant, animal, whatever I know, this is not true for this. Can anybody tell me? Yes, Pranav. You don't have anything to say? Hello, Neil. Nobody disputes that, you know, this is the phase of life where there will be a phase where you are born, there will be a phase you are dead, and there are a few things that are happening between this life and death. Do we all agree? Correct. Now, we also said in the very first class that all of us want to be happy. Who said I did not want to be happy? Did anybody say I don't want to be happy? We all wanted to be happy. How are we going to be happy? Yes. Now, what is our definition of happiness? Let's all discuss that. Happiness. Today's topic is happiness. How will we become happy? What makes us happy? We'll go with Adikshit. Yeah, we'll go in alphabetical order now. Okay, I can see Adikshit.
So the things which we do and it makes us happy, like what we like. If we do that, then we can get happy.
If you do what you like, it will make you happy. Okay, what is the most important thing that you like, Adikshit?
Knowledge.
Knowledge. Okay, apart from knowledge.
Sir, are you asking hobby?
Anything, whatever. You said whatever, if I do what I like to do, I will be happy. That is what you said. Correct?
Football.
Football. Okay. You play football. You playing or seeing?
I play and
Playing
see.
football. And see. Okay. Playing football. Do you play football daily?
Mostly.
Mostly. Do you have a fixed time to play football?
No, I play like anytime I want before 8 o'clock.
Before 8 o'clock. What will happen if you continue to play after 8 o'clock?
The routine will get like destroyed.
Okay. One day I will give you, granted, somebody comes and says, okay, today, no problem of routine. Continue to play after 8 o'clock. No routine for today.
Sir, football is playing. Playing football for me is good, but even if you don't do the basic necessaries, for eating, sleeping, and all, then even if you are happy, your health will get, you can't be healthy.
Okay, that is one thing. Let's say for some good reason, somebody has said, okay, no problem. You are full. You will be full. I'll feed you on the ground. 8 o'clock, I'll come, I'll give you breakfast at this one. You continue to play football.
No, we don't eat breakfast at dinner time.
That's okay. Oh, you mean in the night? Okay, you mean 8 o'clock in the night? Okay, I mistook it at 8 in the morning. Okay, fine. 8 o'clock in the night. Yeah, I'll give you dinner at 8 o'clock in the night. You finish your dinner. Immediately you can go run and play football. I'll say, okay, one day it is allowed. Then what will happen?
We need even energy because like we can't always continuously play. Like if we like to play, we can play for like some time, not always non-stop.
Why? What will happen if you play non-stop? Will you still be happy? Say you said football will make me happy.
Yeah, but if we play non-stop, it's fun, but then we'll collapse because we.
To collapse. Is collapsing making you happy? No. So there is a consequence to that. Correct? So there should be that activity which should, if I keep on doing, if activity was supposed to make me happy, then that activity, no matter when, what, where I keep doing, that should have made me happy. Correct, no? Point to think? Okay, we'll come back to you again. Okay, now Athar.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Vishnu, we'll come back. I saw the answer that you have written. I also need what you have put down. We'll come to that. We'll discuss in your turn on that. Athar, yes, tell me what makes you happy.
Sir, by playing with my friends, cycling, playing board games and all like that.
Board games and all. Again, the same question to you. What I put to Adikshit. How long can you play that?
Sir, only for some few hours, then we'll feel hungry, we'll feel tired.
You'll feel hungry. Suppose, okay, there is hunger. I'll feed you on the table itself where you are playing. That happens, no?
Sir, but you might get bored also by.
Bored. Now you are introducing a new term. Bored. Correct? Playing is, you said playing makes me happy. Now you are saying, no, playing is making me bored.
You play, you might and then on the same game again.
Very important point, Athar. What you are saying is, playing will make us happy. That activity will definitely make us happy, but that is for a given duration. There is a duration during which something will make us happy. Adikshit, do you also agree with him? Right? Vishnu, do you agree with him? Everybody agrees. There is a duration during which all activities will make us some level of happiness will be given. Right? What happens after that?
Then after you get bored, you'll do something else.
Our emotion changes to something totally different. How man, why am I sitting with you, man? It is boring, let's go, Yoda. Correct? All of us will do that? Yeah. So now, Adikshit said knowledge. Very good. So how do you gain that knowledge?
So,
Hmm.
okay, so we get knowledge by like studying things or
Studying things. Okay, we'll come back to that knowledge part later. A little while. Neil, do you agree with whatever Atharv and Adikshit have been saying so far?
yeah.
You completely agree with them. No discounts at all.
Yeah.
Okay. So now, in which case, is that happiness in the activity that we are doing? Is Adikshit's definition? Should we revisit Adikshit's definition of happiness?
Oh, wait. Can you say that again?
Adikshit said, I get happiness by doing some activity. That activity, he said, he defined it as playing. It could be something else for somebody else. It could be eating for somebody else. It could be sleeping for somebody else.
Yeah.
Give me 1 minute. I think I'm going to lose the system. Yeah, I'm back. Sorry, I think I had. Did I freeze for a minute? I was clear. Okay, fair enough. Okay. So that could be in eating for somebody, that could be in sleeping for somebody. But that is all given in a given duration. Beyond that, nobody can do it continuously forever.
Yeah, because like for example, if you like eating chocolate,
Hmm.
if you limited like only like a few times per week, like you'll feel more special. It'll make you feel happier. Otherwise, if you keep on eating chocolate again, like for pretty much the entire day, it won't feel special.
Right. So that's a very, very wise answer. It is going to make you sick. Then you will not enjoy eating it.
Yeah, if you keep doing the same thing again and again, you'll start getting bored of it.
Right. Exactly. So Pranav, tell me, do you agree with everyone?
Yes, sir.
Anything that you want to think is different or add anything else?
No, not really.
You pretty much agree with everything that they have been saying.
Yes.
Good. So which means that, now let me ask you that question. In which case, where is this happiness? Where is it coming from?
From the thing that you like to do.
From the thing that we like to do. But then the thing that we like to do, if we keep on doing it, it is making us bored, no? After a while, it is becoming monotonous. It is becoming painful. So where is this happiness coming from, in which case? Point to think. Correct? So now the question that I want to ask Shraddha also is the same. Shraddha, can you come on?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So is that happiness really in the object that we are really fond of, or in the play, in the activity that we are fond of, or in the action that we are so fond of?
In the activity, I think, sir.
In the activity, it is there, but then Adikshit, Tathar, everybody said, we will get bored after doing it for a long time.
Yes, sir.
Then
I'm not sure, sir.
you are not sure. What about Vishrut?
Sir, the happiness is in us. It's a state of being.
Huh?
Sir, the happiness is in us. We are the one.
Happiness is in us. Very good. So the happiness is not in the object or in the activity that we are doing. Vishrut says the happiness is within us. So Shriyamsini, do you agree to this statement?
Yes, sir. Happiness only comes when we actually experience it. It cannot be like we do something and that makes us happy. It is a feeling which is always invoked when we feel good about something.
Right. So happiness is an emotion. Correct? Happiness is just an emotion. Now, if there is happiness, it also comes bundled with something called sadness. Is that true? Anybody who will say, no, happiness, I'll perpetually be happy. No, nobody says that. Perpetually, if I keep on doing something, I am going to be happy. That is universally not true. We all have that experience, and we are all talking out of experience. Nobody here has read some great philosophy and come and discussing this. I am all getting these answers from you people. Correct? Nothing that I said out of this comes happiness. Out of this, somewhere somebody created happiness on that moon, or in that from the moon somebody landed here, or from some planet, or some God created happiness, landed in all of us. Nothing. All these are experiences. It's all something you and I have been feeling for so many years now. Correct? Anybody disagrees on this? Nobody is disagreeing. In which case, what is that? Okay. So in which case, we all agree that there is always going to be a state of happiness. There is always going to be a state of sadness. Correct? How do we then feel happy? But we all said we want to only be happy. Nobody said, I want to be sad. Did anybody say, I want to be sad? No, we don't want to be sad. Why? Why is it that we have happiness? We all want to be happy, and there is something which says, I don't want to be happy. I don't want to be sad. So this is the classic principle of life. Okay. Who says now I don't want to be successful in my school or career or life or in home, whatever I am doing? I don't want to be successful. Anybody who is saying that? Anybody will say, I don't want to be successful? Nobody. Everybody wants to be successful. Same question that I'll repeat for all this. Is success in the activity that we do? Is it there? Success again is within us. How we define that success. True? This holds true for all the sense of this, what we term as duality. Have you all heard of the term duality? There is always a fight. I want this, I don't want this. I want to be successful, I don't want to be unsuccessful. I want to be happy, I don't want to be sad. But when you are happy, which means there is a state other than what you are saying I want to be. Correct? Anybody disagrees with this? So let us ask ourselves, first question, how do we be in that state that we eternally want to be? Can we ask that question? Anybody who wants to answer that question? We all said we want to be happy, which means we want to be eternally happy. Correct, no? So how can we be eternally happy? Can we be eternally happy? Who wants to answer this? Let's start with Vishrut now.
Sir, we cannot be eternally happy since we cannot live forever.
Why?
Sir, since everyone has a time and they will die.
Everyone has a time and
Everyone has a time and they will die.
everyone has a time. We'll call that mood, or everyone has what is called a way of thinking. Everyone has a mind. These are terms. And everyone, let us say, playing made Adikshit very happy. Reading made Adikshit very happy. Now, there can be somebody who says, no, reading and playing doesn't make me happy at all. Is there anyone who will say that?
No, sir.
No? There can be somebody who does not like to play. Adikshit said, I want to play football. Shri Amsini, do you want to play football?
Sir, I am good with my team in school, sir.
You are good with your football team in school.
No, sir, other sport.
Other sport, but I am talking specifically about football.
I play football, sir. That's not a big problem.
That is not a big problem, I also know. But does football alone make you happy? No.
So playing with friends makes me happy.
Playing with friends make you happy. Right? And then he said reading. Now he may have his own choice of books. Is it necessary that you both share the same choice of books?
No, sir.
No. When he said I like knowledge, will the same set of knowledge make you happy?
No, sir.
No. Right? So now let us ask, where does this happiness come from? Adikshit asked me a very important question on day one. He said, who created God? I think that came from the thought that, God created everybody else. Correct? Okay, we will discuss that sometime. We'll park that for now. We'll talk about first happiness, then go to God. Okay. In which case, let us now ask this question, how do we become happy? Eternally happy. But we said with happiness will always come. It is not possible. Vishwat is saying, no, it is not possible. And it's our experience. If there is happiness, there will be a state of sadness for somebody, somebody else. If Adikshit likes to play football for 2 hours, that makes him happy. There is somebody else who says, no, yaar, I don't want to play football. I just want to sit and dream. Correct? Yes, Shriyan, you want to say something?
Sir, I play football, but not for 2 hours, sir. I play daily half an hour at least.
Half an hour. What if you played for 4 hours?
Sir, 4 hours means my leg will be already sore.
Your leg will be paining and you cannot be there at all. Okay. Fine. So that is going to be a challenge for you.
Yes, sir.
Right. So same thing. So with this happiness comes sadness. With success comes failure. Yes, Shri Amsini, you want to say something?
Sir, attaining eternal happiness it can be attained, sir. Sir, there is something which everyone loves to do, which everyone wants to achieve, and if they achieve it and they're okay, or if they're strong-minded, straightforward and are okay with whatever they face, they'll be happy throughout.
Okay. What, okay, you tell me what is it that makes you happy? Or you tell me how do you do that? Or rather, what is it that will make you eternally happy?
Sir, I have so many things that make me happy, like from sleeping in my bed in the night to getting back from school and sitting at home seeing TV, everything, almost everything.
Almost everything makes you happy, right? Going and sleeping in the bed, same thing. Okay, let us say you slept for 8 hours night. Let us say you slept for 12 hours. It is still okay. You slept for 16 hours.
So once I've done.
What will happen after that?
Sir, I slept, sir, and then I actually woke up after, I guess, almost the afternoon, sir.
Afternoon, but you still woke up,
Uh,
right?
Sir,
At
but I
best you would
didn't
have,
budge, like I didn't come out of the bed completely. I was there.
okay. You could have slept for another 8 hours at max. At best, you would have slept for another 8 hours. Maybe you would have made it night. Okay, now it is night, maybe another 8 hours. But next day morning, there was no way you wouldn't have got sick of your bed. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So eternally, there is nothing that you keep doing.
Sir,
And
the body itself will force us to get up, sir.
there you go. There you go. So body is now saying, I'll get happiness if you get up now. The same body which was saying, I'll be happy if you go to sleep, is now saying, I'll become happy. Let's say the mind. Through your mind, it is saying, I'll be happy if you get up and get going, eat something, walk and do something better. Correct? This is a true fact of life. What happens is, everything that we do comes with a thing that is opposite of it. Happiness comes with a level of sadness. Success comes with, say, failure. Right? Liking comes with a dislike, comes with a dislike. All these are part and parcel of our life, which we cannot wish away, no matter what. No species, nobody can wish away. Okay? But I'll define a very new term today for you. Okay? You tell me the opposite of that term. Let us see what happens. Joy. Joy, joy. What is the opposite of the term joy?
So sad.
No, that is for happiness. Yes, Shriya, what is it?
Sir, I was about to tell sadness.
Same sad. No. There's a term called joy.
Sir, misery. Misery.
Misery. Misery usually will go with, not with joy, misery will go with something like there is another word of joy, which is the enjoy.
Sir, what about despair? DESPIAR. Despair.
Despair. Misery and despair are the same. It goes with the term enjoy and not joy.
Sir, tribulation.
Tribulations. Fantastic. Keep throwing terms. I love them. Tribulations. No, tribulation goes with something like appreciation. Correct, no? You're appreciated, you're tribulated.
Sir, lament.
Unappreciated, you're let down.
Sir, lament.
Huh?
Lament.
Lament.
Oh, yes, sir.
Lament is that is praise and lament. Yes,
Sir,
me.
I don't have any other word.
Just a minute. Yeah.
Sorrow.
Yeah. Sorrow, joy and sorrow. Sorrow is the nearest, but it is not the same. I agree. Joy may go with sorrow, but that will also go with enjoy. Joy is the noun form of it, enjoy, but then sorrow is not the sorrow that you will see. The sorrow will more go with something like state of
So what about agony?
agony. Agony, excitement, agony. Correct, no? Surprise. For surprise, what do you have?
Sir, joylessness.
Joylessness. Joylessness. See, either there is joy or there is no joy. That's the point, right? So, surprise will go with shock, for instance. Miseries will come with shock and everything else will come with this one, right? Now, you're right. So, sorrow was the nearest, but sorrow also comes with pain. There is suffering, misery, and all come with. These are all
Sir,
emotions.
even desolate will come now, sir.
Desolate. Desolate is, that is, there is isolation and desolation. Two very different words, correct? But both can be opposites. You can be in isolation, but not in desolation.
Sir, I'm out of words.
You are out of words now. Okay, good. Are you taking SAT?
Yes, sir. We have in school itself. For high schoolers, they started it just this
They
year.
started it recently. Shows that. Very good. You are doing already. You are doing well already.
Sir, we have words this year, sir, obviously.
Very good. Very good. Very good. I like that. Right. So, see, there is something that another thing. We talked about happiness and sadness. Similarly, there is pleasure. Pleasure is one more term. It is a pleasure to have you around me. It's a pain to have that fellow around me. Correct? Now, these are all opposites which we cannot do away with. Right? No? But I spoke about certain other terms. What was that? Suffering. Right? Desolation, as Sri Amdini said. You can be isolated, but should you be in desolation is a choice. Then they said sorrow. Then suffering. Suffering I already said, I think. Now you can be in pain. When you fall down, we are all in pain. Adikshit would have fallen playing football n number of times. Have you experienced pain? Or if Shriyan plays football for more than half an hour, he would have experienced pain. Right? Now, do you suffer because of that pain? You suffer. No, you like that some of, if you have hurt yourself, then you suffer. Is that true? Adikshit?
Yes, sir.
If you have hurt yourself, you suffer because you can't play for 3 more days. Oh, it's a pain, it's a problem, everything. But if your body is aching because if you have played, do you suffer?
Sir, but if we play like a lot of time, whatever, any game, we will become restless. Then you should take some rest. Then you'll be okay. So that doesn't.
Correct. So you are not suffering because of the pain. You are only recouping out of the pain, which is not a suffering. You are enjoying that pain. It's okay. The moment you go to your bed, just like Sri Amsini said, you are full in deep sleep. That's it. Enjoying deep sleep. After that pain that you have come out of this one. Correct? Shraddha, you have been very quiet for a long time. Shraddha and Pranav. You tell me, what is it that makes you happy?
Sir, dancing makes me happy.
Dancing makes you happy. Fantastic. Just like Adikshit playing football. Let's say you practice for 5 hours. Dancing. What's your longest record in dancing?
Sir, I think max up to 1 hour.
Max up to 1 hour. And as Adikshit said, if you keep continuing practicing, over time you will build a level of stamina where you can keep practicing up to 3 hours at best. Beyond that, you will also start hurting. But that is not a bad hurt. But beyond a very long time, if you keep doing it, you will also probably get bored. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now that pain, as we were discussing, is not a choice. That is naturally going to come no matter what you do. Because everything has to have some effect on you. But you have a choice whether to suffer that pain or not suffer the pain. Pranav, what do you think?
Yes, sir.
Yes? Why do you think so?
Like, because it can be like it can be either like we getting hurt or it may not be like that. It
Fine.
can
If you get hurt and still you can choose to say, it's all right. There is pain. I appreciate you. Thank you. You are around. But please make sure you go away fast. I will nurse you. I'll help you to go away fast. All of us do that. Then you are not suffering out of the pain, but you are nursing that pain and saying, okay, bye-bye. Thank you. Glad that you came. Next time I'll make sure you don't come. Is that right? So that is a way of doing it. So alternately, you can do one more thing. You know, sometimes when we are hurt, there is a wound that forms. When the wound is drying up, it starts itching. It starts itching, no? And it is fun to scratch that itch. What happens if you scratch?
So the wound will open up and start bleeding slowly.
Now when you are scratching, it is fun. There is happiness in that also. But as Vishnu said, what will happen? It will not just start bleeding, it will start getting septic, it will start expanding, the wound will start becoming a problem.
So does the burst part when a particular wound heals?
Correct. That is the first thing that happens. That will also create happiness in you. But that is not good happiness. So, how many of us have observed this? You have observed this. Everyone has observed this. And we also know we should not do it. But still our mind will say, no, I want to do that. It is fun. Let's do it. Yeah, so that's what brings us to the point why we are endowed with that free will. It is not that the same wound will not itch a dog or it will not do anything. But still, do you see a dog getting gangrene so many times as much as human beings get? They also end up scratching. They also have that. No, but there is a mechanism in which they say, no, hold back. In our case, our mothers will come and say, no, you better not do this. Otherwise, what will happen? Then you know. Correct? So that's why that free will acts very importantly to tell us that free will is endowed. Now that free will is also endowed with what is called a intelligence. What is discriminative intelligence? You do not want to get hurt. That is true, Adikshit. You have a choice to choose not to get hurt. That means sometimes, sometimes is it always in your hand. If somebody comes and pushes you and you fall down, what will happen? Can you always choose?
No, I'm telling that if it's in our hands to choose, like if we don't know, we are scared of heights, jumps, and we have a choice to choose not to jump or to jump.
Correct. You have a choice to jump or not to jump. Or you also have the choice to learn to jump right. There's a choice, there's a problem, there's a possibility that you'll get hurt at that point. Now, this choice of getting hurt is not always with you.
Or you have even a choice to give up, which is bad.
Give up. You can give up. You can give up everything and run away. That choice is there. But should we take that choice or not take that choice? That is the whole objective of Bhagavad Gita. That is why we should read Bhagavad Gita. I was talking about discrimination. There's a discriminative intelligence in all of us that says, do this, don't do this. This is right, this is not right. Correct? That intelligence is there only in human beings. To make that choice, first to make that choice, and that discriminative intelligence which powers that choice. Now you can choose to listen to that discrimination or choose to ignore it. Like in the case of our wound, when it itches, if we choose to ignore that discrimination and say, I'll scratch, then you know what will happen. But if I say, I'll listen to you, it's okay. I will try to be a little control myself, not scratch. Then what will happen? Adikshit can go and play football. Somebody else can do something else. You'll heal faster. Right? Now, Adikshit brought up one very important another point. What was that? He said, I have the choice to run away and not do the work at all. Keep away from the work that will hurt me. Now, is that a real choice for all of us? Let's understand that. That's a very, very important point. This is where the context of Bhagavad Gita helps. Okay, now story time. Who wants to tell me the story why Bhagavad Gita was even chanted or was narrated? Nobody knows? No, somebody will know. Neil will know. Neil, do you know this? Yeah, Shriyamsini also says she knows. Okay, we'll talk to Neil first, then come to Shriyamsini, sorry. Neil?
Yeah.
Do you know why Bhagavad Gita was told, why Bhagavad Gita came about?
When Arjuna was going to fight in the Mahabharata war, he didn't want to fight because he'll be fighting his guru and everybody that he loved. So yeah, he asked her for Krishna.
Good, very good point, very good. You have given the sum and substance of it. I'll narrate it in a little detail. Shraddha, you want to add something before Shriyamsini tells?
Sir, it was the same thing.
Same thing you wanted to say. Shriyamsini?
Sir, actually, it starts when Duryodhana and Arjuna both come and sit Duryodhana sits in Krishna's head and Arjuna near Krishna's leg. So, that time Krishna will tell Arjuna that he'll come and wage war with the Kauravas just with the Pandavas. So when the Pandavas want, that time Arjuna will know that they'll actually win the war because Krishna is there with them. So when he reaches the battlefield, he gets a surprise to see his guru, his relatives, his brothers, his Bhishma and all of those people, and he's like, I won't fight, I don't want to fight, they're all part of my life and they'll be my life. So that's when Krishna tells that it is your duty to fight, but still he doesn't get convinced. So Krishna tells the Bhagavad Gita.
Okay. Now, even before that, okay, you all talked about some war that is happening. Now, three of you know something about the war. There are, 9 minus 3, 6 of us. Yeah, my mathematics is still okay. Okay, 6 of us who don't know anything about what war everybody is talking about. What is this war? Who wants to tell me what this war is? Where is war? Where is war and what is the connection between a war and a Bhagavad Gita? Bhagavad Gita is something else. Shriyan, you want to say something?
Sir, I know the war's name, that's it. Mahabharata, that's it.
You know that it is war's name is Mahabharata. Okay. Okay. Pranava? No, nothing. Okay, no problem. You know the meaning of your name, by the way?
Yes.
What is it?
My mother told me it is the meaning of like the Om.
It is the Omkara. Correct. Pranama. We'll talk about Pranama someday. Yes, Vishrut, you want to say something? Yeah, before that, Vishrut, do you know the meaning of your name?
Yes, sir.
What is it?
Famous.
Huh?
Famous.
Vishrut, famous.
Yes, sir.
Okay. There is another way of deriving it. We'll talk about it some other day. Fine. Tell me.
Sir, the only place where the Bhagavad Gita and Mahabharata meet is when Arjuna is confused and doesn't know what to do, whether to fight the war rightfully and kill his very own family or just run away and live a life of a sannyasi.
Yeah, 4 of you have spoken about some war, man. What is this war? There is war. Bhagavad Gita is something that Krishna is saying, telling Arjuna something. Do people talk in a war? No. If people don't talk in a war, they fight. Where is the talk happening? And you both, all of you said Krishna is telling something to Arjuna in a war. In a war, why is Krishna saying something and why is the war there to begin with? Adikshit, yes.
Sir, I only know the name of the war.
That is the Mahabharata. That I think Shriyan also said. Pranava also said. What is the name of the war?
Sir, it's Kurukshetra, I guess.
Kurukshetra. Very important term. Kurukshetra. Okay. Let me now go back. Let's rewind. Story time. I think I need to narrate the story for 10 minutes now. Everybody is receptive. Okay. So once upon a time, and this is actually what happened. Mahabharata is not what is there is a difference. We all know what is itihasa. No, anybody has heard the term itihasa? Shriyamsini has heard, Vishrut has heard, Shriyan has heard, Adikshit has heard. Anybody else? Atharva has heard.
I didn't hear the word.
You didn't hear. Okay. Yes, okay. Okay. Shriyamsini, what does it mean?
Sir, Itihasa means history, sir.
Itihasa means history. Okay. Now the word history is a bit of a misnomer in English. Let me just take the Sanskritam word. Iti atit. This is how it was. That is why it is called itihasa. That's how the word itihasa comes. Okay. We have two things. One is itihasa. The other one is Purana. These are the two story parts of a lot of things. Pura api nava iti. That is Purana. What is old, yet it is new today, is Purana. Pura api nava iti. Purana. What was some age-old grandmother's tale, yet it is new today. That is
Sir,
what.
is it like Shakespearean plays, like Romeo, Juliet, Merchant of Venice, Julius Caesar, anything like that?
Now I'll tell you what happens with these. There's a difference. There's a very significant difference between the Latin and the English plays, even for that matter, Odyssey and Iliad, the classics, Greek classics, for instance, and the Indian Puranas and Itihasa. There's a strict divide and a barrier which I really want to draw. Very good question, Shriyamsini. So there are many similarities. There will be a lot of similarities in the way the stories are narrated, the way story is, etc., etc. So many things are there. It is not that they are not there. But there's a very significant difference. The difference is that our Indian stories and Indian epics have a very deep ingrained meaning in them. Okay. That is not necessarily true with all the stories of whether it is Romeo and Juliet or Shakespeare and Merchant of Venice. Most of them are superficial story written for enjoyment. Okay. For them, that concept comes as eat, drink, and make merry. How many of you have heard this statement? Sri Amsini has heard, Vishrut has heard. For us, none of these are eat, drink, and make merry. No. For these, all these are deep ingrained knowledge systems for us. I'll tell you various stories I will tell over the next, all the classes will discuss a lot of stories like these. Okay. So, itihasa means this is how it was. Now, in the modern parlance of history, what we have that is also a part of school curriculum today, is we remember a lot of dates, time, when it happened, what happened. More than what happened, when things happened is more important. That history has a very strong time component to it. Okay. Now, the difference between history and itihasa for us, we know that this happened and we know probably when it happened as well. There are enough indicators of when it happened. But then for us, that is not the most important thing, but the lessons we learned out of it and what we got from there. You know, there is this beautiful statement, never forget your history, otherwise, yeah, who wants to complete this statement? Never forget history. Who knows this? Shraddha, do you know what comes after that?
No, sir, I'm not sure.
You're not sure. Neel, Athar, anyone? I know Sri Amsini knows. Nobody? Okay, Sri Amsini will then complete that statement.
Sir, actually, we have learnt it like never forget your history or else your life will be a mystery.
Oh, life will be a mystery. Okay. More than that, never forget history. Otherwise, history will repeat itself. Yeah, life will also be a mystery. That is true. That's why you should remember itihasa. Iti asit. Now, Ramayana and Mahabharata are part of that itihasa for us. Okay. We'll discuss Ramayana and Mahabharata in detail some other time. For the time being, we'll discuss why Gita came about. Bhagavad Gita came about. What was Bhagavad Gita? In Mahabharata, what happened in Mahabharata was, have you all heard of Bharata? Who is Bharata? One of you just unmute and answer. Who was Bharata?
Rama's younger brother.
Rama's younger brother was one
Significant
Bharata.
younger brother.
Rama's younger brother was one Bharata. Any other Bharata that we know of? How does the name Bharata come about?
Sir, one more Bharata is the person who wrote Natya Shastra.
That is Bharata Muni's Natya Shastra. Bharata Muni. Yes, there are three Bharatas now. Very good. Yes, absolutely right. Bharata Natya. Right. Bharata Natya comes from the Bharata Muni's Natya Shastra, and that's how Bharata Natyam is performed. Absolutely right, Sri Amsini. Any other Bharata? No? There was one more Bharata who was a very valorous king who founded the Bharata Vamsha. Abhignana Shakuntala's son, Dushyanta and Shakuntala's son, Bharata. Sri Amsini will tell the story of Dushyanta and Shakuntala next class. Okay? She knows it very well. Okay? He was a very valorous king. You can read about him in Kalidasa.
Sir, it was actually thought for us before Natya Mayuri, sir.
Much before Natya Mayuri. Right? Yeah, just like Ikshvaku was the founder of the Ikshvaku Kula in which Rama came about, Bharata was the founder of the kingdom called Kuruvamsha, in which all these Pandavas, Kauravas, Dhritarashtra, all these people came about.
Sir, but isn't it known like Kalidasa wrote Abhignana Shakuntala?
He wrote Abhignana Shakuntalam. That does not mean that the action itself need not have happened before. No. He did not see it while writing. No, he was not Veda Vyasa. Vyasa Maharshi was there during Mahabharata's time. Abhignana Shakuntalam was one part. Okay. Now Bharata propagated a Vamsha called Bharata Vamsha. That's why you will find Arjuna's name being called Bharata in a lot of times throughout. Okay. So, all these people, Kauravas and Pandavas, came in the lineage of that Bharata Vamsha. Okay. Now, what happened was, after the so many generations of those kings, we had very great kings from Bharata onward. There were about 20 or 25 kings from that time till the time when this Shantanu was the king. Shantanu's grandchildren were who?
Pandavas and Kauravas.
No, they were the great grandchildren. Pandu and Dhritarashtra. The father of Pandavas and the father of Kauravas. Okay. Now it so happened that Pandu died earlier. He was the rightful heir of that kingdom. Now he died. So since his children were very young to take over the kingdom, and all the others were also very young, so the kingdom was given in as a custodian. Dhritarashtra was made the custodian king of Bharata. Okay. Now Dhritarashtra had 100 plus 1 children, 100 boys and 1 girl. Oh, Shriyan is saying, how is that even possible?
Sir, because Gandhari actually she gave she got 100 eggs. From each egg, there was one son which got emerged.
There were so many stories. Yes, we'll get to that at some point. Right. So that is how Dhritarashtra was. The eldest of them was
Duryodhana.
Duryodhana. Pandu had 5 children. Okay. Who was the eldest of them?
Yudhishthira.
Yudhishthira. Now, both of them, all of them had one grandfather. Not the grandfather, in the grand uncle, in fact, not the grandfather in true sense. Bhishma. He was the great grand uncle, the great grand, in fact, the grand uncle of everyone. He had a boon that, he could not be killed. He would die only when he wanted to die. No other way there was to kill him. If he chose to die, he would die. That's all. Until that point, he would be alive. Okay, so that was Bhishma. Now, Bhishma decided all of them should have all of them are children. Fathers are not there anyway. Pandu had died. Dhritarashtra was the only one. Dhritarashtra was blind. So then he decided, okay, we will get, and Dhritarashtra was ruling in spite of being blind. So he decided, they should all go to some guru. They appointed this Dronacharya as the guru. And then they all studied together. But then Duryodhana was a wily monster. Even as a child, he was not meant to be a good king, or he was not meant to be a good person to begin with. So what happened? There was enough fight, there was enough enmity between Pandavas. This is called the Kaurava side, the Duryodhana's 100 plus the 5 are called the Pandavas. Pandus and Pandavas. Okay, by deceit, all by this one, he took away all their kingdom. He gambled. He got these Pandavas to gamble with him. Pandavas lost everything.
Sir, and that was with Shakuni's help.
Shakuni's head. Shakuni, who was Shakuni?
Sir, he was actually a minister in one of the king's kingdom, but since the kingdom got ransacked, the king actually was about to die, but he left 2 bones, and those 2 bones came in the hand of this minister, and he was Shakuni.
Who was Shakuni? As in, how was he related? Why did he come to this court?
Sir, actually, there is actually a different story before it.
Yeah. That story will keep parked for the time being. We'll come to the Mahabharata part. Vishwat, tell me.
Sir, he is Gandhari's brother.
Huh?
Sir, he is Gandhari's elder brother.
He was Gandhari's brother. Correct. He was the brother-in-law of Dhritarashtra. So he was the uncle of these Duryodhana and these 100. So he had an easy access to the kingdom. And he was another wily master. Who and two wily masters, you know what all mischief they can create and what all problems they can create. They created enough of it. The Pandavas were the rightful owners of the kingdom. They had to get it because by hereditary, by all the rules that were applicable at that point in time, just like we have democracy now, for every 5 years we go. But in those times, they had a different rule, which said, by lineage, by birth, whoever is the eldest will get the kingdom. That was one way of doing it at that time. That had its own flaws, as we saw. This fellow did not want to give it. Duryodhana said, I don't want to give it. He took it away by deceit. We'll end at 6:15. Another 5 minutes we'll take, and then we'll take questions. Okay. Okay. So then, because of that, because of the gambling, they lost the kingdom. He actually even mistreated Draupadi. There was a lot of problem because of that. Then they sent everybody to exile. 13 years they were in exile. 12 years they were in exile. After all this, he said, you come back after that time. If you come back, I'll give back the kingdom. That's what Duryodhana had told the Pandavas. Now they came back and they said, you promised you have to give it. Now it's our duty to keep promises, no? It is by nature that we all we should keep promise. If we have told somebody something, there is a promise, right? A commitment. If I say, if you take 100 rupees from somebody and say, I'll return it by tomorrow, you have to return it. There is no way you can say, no, I will not return it. True? Or if you take pencil from somebody and you come home, forget it, you go back and return the next day. True? Now this fellow said, no, I will not return. Vishnu, you want to add something?
Yes, sir. When they came back, Duryodhana was so angry and confused with them that he yelled out to Yudhishthira and got him by his neck and told that he would not even give the amount of land in his kingdom that he could hold in the tip of a needle.
Correct. So Duryodhana said, I will not do anything. I am not going to do anything for you. Get lost. Now you are done with. Krishna tried various means, said, give it. It's okay. Just give 5 villages. We'll be happy with 5 villages. Don't give the entire kingdom. He said, no, I will not. So that is where the war got precipitated. It said, no chance. Now this is not happening. You can't even let us not live. So they all landed upon a battlefield where Pandavas were fighting the Kauravas. As we saw, Dhritarashtra and Pandu are brothers, so their children will be cousins. So all cousins were fighting with one part. They formed 2 parts and they were all fighting with each other. This is how the war came about, and this was the Dharma Yuddha. Okay. What happened in this Dharma Yuddha was, on the first day when the war was just about to begin, it so happened that our friend Arjuna, whose charioteer happened to be Krishna, he had offered to be his charioteer, in fact, said, I will be your charioteer and that's all I will do. I will not take part in the war. Krishna was a great warrior in himself. But he said, no, I will not do this. He was Bhagavan himself. He said, I will not take part in the war. I will not fight the war, but I will offer to be on your side being a charioteer. That's all he said. Consider it a modern day, tank driver or something like that. Right? That's what he said. That's my role. So Arjuna tells, okay, now that we are on this war, let's go to the middle. Have you all heard of what is called a no man's land in a war? What is a no man's land? Nobody knows what a no man's land is? Shriyan?
No, sir. I don't know.
No? When there are two parties fighting, the boundary that separates, there is a strip of land that separates the two parts. Now that does not belong to anyone before the fight starts. Okay, any border, any country, say India and China, for example, there will be a boundary which will be called the no man's land. That part is not occupied by either parties. Okay, that place, Krishna says, Arjuna tells Krishna, or rather instructs Krishna, because he is the charioteer, go park my chariot in between these two armies. I want to see what is happening. Krishna, being the intelligent person, very intelligent and very rightly so, he parks it at a place where he can see everything. It's a 360-degree view of the situation. Exciting? Very exciting. So now what happens? So imagine now you are sitting in between two of your favorite friends. Your your friends are sort of arguing. You are sitting in between them, and now you need to take a side. What will happen? And you landed in between. You are not like you are seeing somewhere from outside. You landed right in between them. Hearing the arguments, what will happen? Shriyan, what will happen?
Sir, I won't choose any side. I tell that I am out of this war. You settle it by yourself.
That is the wise way of doing it. But then you are on one side. You come from one side. You like that fellow's argument, for instance. But you like the other fellow. Argumentatively, you are with that person because probably what he's saying is right. But the other fellow is also close to you.
Then I would stop the argument.
Then you would stop the argument. Right? So, this is exactly what happened to Arjuna at that point. He broke down. He said, I don't know what to do. And he asked, please guide me. That is when Krishna said, okay, let me guide. This is the story, why it came about. And what is there in the Gita? Vishnu asked this question. We'll discuss this in the next class. What is the meaning of the Dhyana Shlokaha?
Giving knowledge to Arjuna.
Giving knowledge to Arjuna. Partaya Pratibodhita Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratita Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamrita Varshini Bhagavati Ashtadashadhyayini Ambatva Manusandadhami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshini. Yes, Sriyamsini.
So just like how every movie has an introduction or a prologue, or any storybook has a prologue, this Dhyana Shloka is a prologue of Bhagavad Gita, because it tells Ashtadasha Adhyayini, 18 chapters book it is, and then it is then in the first para, Prarthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavatam Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Grantha Vyasaru Granthavannu Bardiruva that thing, and then after that what is it? Ambatvam Anusandadami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshini. That's so that they start like they just tell what happened till then, and then in the last there is Mukam Karoti Vachalam, which is like the people who can't speak start speaking. All that will come. So it's just like a prologue before Bhagavad Gita.
Prologue to Bhagavad Gita. Sriyamsini is a Sanskrit student. That's why she says, this is what will happen. This is what is being said. Correct, no? Yes, Parthaya. She'll say Parthaya, Chaturthi Vibhakti, Partha, and she'll go on. She'll give me all the things. Correct. We will do that. Okay. Now, before we get to that Sanskrit part, others also need to know a bit of Sanskrit part to it before we talk about Sanskrit. Okay, but we will do that. Huh?
Sir, even I am a Sanskrit student.
You are also a Sanskrit student. So you also know Parthaya, Pratibodhitam. What is the verb in this?
Sir, a little bit, because this year only we started Sanskrit.
You just started. No problem. We will discuss this in detail. Shraddha, you want to add anything?
No, sir.
No, you don't have anything to add. Okay. Even you don't have anything to add, Adikshit. You are also a new Sanskrit student from this year. I agree. Pranav and Neil. Nothing to add, Pranav? Okay. So this was a good session. Everybody liked it. We should continue the story in the next session. Yeah. So next
Sir, this Shakuntala story also I should tell.
we should tell the Shakuntala story also. How Bharata came about. Correct. How the whole thing started. Correct. We will do that. So what we will do next class is that we will start with the first what Vishnu asked. What is the meaning of that shloka? Parthaya pratibodhitam. What are we saying there? There are 4 important things. Pratibodhitam. Anusandadhami. Then what else is there? Parthaya pratibodhitam.
Sir,
Gratitam.
Bhagavatam Narayanena Swayam. It was Bhagavata was Narayana himself.
Gratitam. No, I'm talking of what are the actions that have happened. Pratibodhitam. Gratitam.
Sir, Madhye Mahabharatam.
No, Madhya Mahabharatam is only this one. Then there is Anusandadhami. That is a very, very important term. So these 3 terms, what do they mean? We will discuss that. Okay? Chalo. Purnamadam Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnamevavasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Krishna Arpanamastu.